So today we're going to talk about how to prepare your part for use with any of our apps so that you can reduce the number of prototypes that you have to do in order to confirm it's working just the way you want. So in order to set the stage here, the settings for all of our apps, every part is printed at a 0.2 resolution. The first layer is 0.3 layers thick. The wall thickness is 1 millimeter. The infill is 25%, and support is turned on for overhangs over 50 degrees. Parts are printed without a brim. Once a part comes off of a machine, it goes to post-processing, where visible and obvious support is removed, and if there are any sorts of deviations or deburring that needs to be done, that is done as well. The part is then placed into a cardboard box with paper as the dampening and shipped out the door. So that is the baseline of how this goes to give you some context about how to make your part. But now let's go into the actual details. The issues that can arise with this are, number one, support. Support can radically increase the cost of your part, so if you can design your part to not have support in it, it will be much more cost effective than if a lot of auto-generated support is there. If you have a horrible dragon that is very complex, would require potentially multiple prints if it can fail easily, and has a ton of support that someone has to pick at forever, that will be a very expensive part. And quite frankly, if you create an impossible piece that somehow gets through our systems, we may reject your account on future orders or just reach out with an email saying, hey, that part can't go through the system anymore. So watch out for that. Garbage in yields garbage out. So a best way of going about support is actually just to make sure that you don't rely on auto-generated support, because this also ensures that your part shows up exactly the way you anticipate, and our auto-generation isn't different from like the auto-generation that your slicer might be using. So design support into the part itself. Use very simple things like ribs to hold it up, let it print at an angle, use negative features in order to hold it, or in some slicers you can actually pull it in, have auto-generated tree supports that are nice, thick, chunky, and reliable, and then export that as an STL and have that printed. This is a really good way to put supports in, control them, and design them without having to worry about auto-generated supports. So that's the biggest issue that we generally see people have, is they introduce a bunch of supported areas that just aren't necessary. Outside of that, make sure that you just design well. Use 45-degree angles wherever you can, use arches, close out holes, all the tricks that we talk about a lot on this channel. Watch a few videos around here, you'll get the idea of what I'm talking about. Next, the very first layer. The very first layer is the most critical, so you want to focus on that a little bit. Here you do not want to rely on slicer settings. If you're using an elephant foot compensation or something like that inside of your slicer, design your part so that's not necessary. The very simplest way of doing this, 1 millimeter chamfer around the outer perimeter of the bottom of your part. That will make sure it comes out perfect all the time, and any bottom holes don't ever have to worry about side squish or anything else. You know for sure, always, definitely, regardless of machine that is printed on, that it will print reliably and the dimensions of all those features will be accurate and it will look really nice. If your part is complex, as we said, we designed it without brim into the setting in order to reduce post-processing and because many parts just don't need it when they're well designed. But if your part has features that do require a brim, if you have a tentacle that weaves out into the side corner of the bed that you have historically seen peels up a lot, change the design of that a little bit to have a mouse ear at the end of that tentacle, just a little rounded spot that needs to be removed. That way you know that it is still held down reliably. It prints more reliably for us, which then can reduce the cost of the parts for you and improves the quality of the part that your end customer gets. Texturing. If you are worried about layer lines at all with your product, make sure to use texturing. We would love to force fuzzy skin as a default inside of all of our apps, but we can't do that because it messes with dimensions. But what you can do in your CAD is apply textures to these parts. You can pull them into any number of tools, from Blender to Idea Maker to all kinds of other places where a patterned texture will be applied to the part. And these patterns eliminate the look of 3D printing, so you don't have to worry about the printed part. Over time, we will introduce textured filaments as well, like granite and that kind of thing, and they might even be available by the time you're watching this video. But the most reliable way to do it is to embed a texture on the surface of the part. Make it tiny, make it just 0.2 millimeters thick throughout the surface of the part, but it will improve the cosmetics. It is something you can't get from any other manufacturing process, and it does not hurt the cost of your part at all. And finally, at the very end of it all, make sure that you order a sample or a prototype from yourself. Make sure that the entire workflow works, because starting up a business requires a little bit of investment of like 20 bucks and $5 of shipping in order to get a sample of your own part to make sure it's coming through the way you want to. 10 years ago, you would have had to buy a mold for 10 grand in order to get one single part out. Now you can get it for 10 to 15 bucks. So it's a much better investment than it used to be in the old days. Don't let that hold you back from making sure that the output is good. So the point of this video is to give you kind of the high level, 80% of the time this is what goes wrong type of issues, but anything else might be more specific, so watch the videos on this channel. We talk about all kinds of ways of optimizing your parts to make them reliable, consistent, and durable in manufacturing, so that anything that could go wrong can be fixed so it won't go wrong. That's the thing to do. Educate yourself and make sure that you are designing the part for 3D printing. If it was designed to be molded and now you're trying to print it, you will be disappointed. So just don't do that. Learn how to design the part well. If you have any issues with your part, we welcome you to reach out to us and we will try to help you modify the design within reason. Or we will point you to one of our videos that talks about the topic. We want to make sure that we're making good parts for you because your success is our success. If we're making garbage parts that you can't sell, well, you won't have us make garbage parts anymore. So let us know how we can fix it ourselves within our systems or how we can help you learn how to design the part better so that it is a better quality product overall. This is a two-way partnership. When you use one of our applications, you are partnering with us, and we want to make sure that we're helping as much as possible, and certainly hold us to account if anything is going wrong. Have a great day, everybody.